We're back in LeadImpact, and let's see how our 3 campaigns that we've created, how they have done over the last 2 days. It's just about exactly 48 hours since I created these campaigns, and we're going to do a little checkup. I have been monitoring them to see if any URLs are giving too many impressions and not enough results. So let's take a look and see where we're at. So this, I've just logged in, and this is the startup. It shows all of our campaigns, and it does show statistics for yesterday. You don't have an option to look at today's here. You can do a report on it. But on this front page, only these are the options. So if we hit last 3 days and hit view, let's take a look. Now our campaigns are further down here. Traveling checklist, we've had 242 impressions. That's the last 3 days, and it's not including today, at a cost of $3.64. Our home selling secrets, we've had 382 impressions at a cost of $6. And our free email series, 146 impressions at a cost of $2.26. Okay, let's display those in a report format so we can further understand if we're getting any conversions and if there's any URLs that are eating up our budget. Okay, so let's select a date range. We want to go from, I started this campaign on Wednesday, July 15th until today. So let's save those changes. We got 2 days there, select a day range. Let's go, first of all, by campaign. We'll choose our campaigns. The traveling checklist, we'll move it over. Home selling secrets and free email series. Those 3. And let's look at our report. All right, so we see here, in the last 48 hours, our email series, we had 160 impressions, spent $247, 1 conversion, great. Our home selling secrets, 448 impressions, spent $7, no conversions. Same as our traveling checklist, 254 impressions, spent $3.82, no conversions. Okay, so these need a little bit of work. We're still in the reporting here, so we've got our 2 days selected. Let's look by keyword, and let's do 1 campaign at a time. So our free email series, let's take a look at that one. With this, we're going to have to take a note of any URLs that are getting too many impressions, as well as which URLs are producing, and then make the changes back in the campaign. This is just a report for now. All right, here we go. Okay, interesting. So these are the URLs, or they call them the keywords here, that have gotten some traffic, received traffic. Okay, so we see actually, this is interesting. Aweber, 8 impressions with 1 conversion. Well, that's good, because Aweber isn't a very targeted URL. I mean, it's email related, but a lot of people use it, and what we are offering is the lead magnet may not spark their interest. Okay. The rest, not much for impressions there. Okay, constant contact here, 111 impressions and no conversions. Okay. If you've watched previous videos, you've heard me talk about it. And my goal, I've got 2 goals with my campaigns. What I'm aiming for. First one is I like to see 1 conversion at least for every 100 impressions. And the second one is I like to get my conversions or my leads for about $1 a piece. Now that is from my own experience and the campaigns that I've run. That may entirely change for the campaigns that you are running depending on how well your product is converting and selling. And so you may be willing to pay $2 or $5 for each lead, which would allow you more impressions, or to pay more for each individual impression. That will depend on your own campaigns, and you'll have to test that. For now, I'm going to go off of my previous experience, and I'm going to see something like constant contact with 111 impressions and no leads, no conversions. It's not producing good enough for us, so we are going to shut that URL down. And the rest, we're going to see how our bidding is going on there. So let's remember constant contact. I'm going to shut that one down. I'm going to actually make a little note. So when we're looking at the campaign, I can see to shut it down. Okay, constant contact. All right, let's look at our next campaign here. Home selling secrets. I'll put it over there and I'll remove that one. All right, so we have got no conversions at all. Impressions, okay, so we got a few impressions there. Here's our killer again, is Zillow. Popular website. 269 impressions. I didn't catch this one quick enough. Spent $4, got nothing for it. So we're going to get rid of it. Not producing for us. We got to cut it loose. The rest are okay. We'll see how our bidding is, whether we can up our bids to get a bit more traffic. Finally, our traveling checklist, we'll move it over and we'll get rid of the home selling secrets and view our report. Again, no conversions. Okay, red flag right at the bottom here again. TripAdvisor, 200 impressions, no conversions. Get rid of it. The rest are okay. We'll keep monitoring them. Travelocity is getting a few impressions, no conversions. So we'll take a look and see where our bidding is at. All right, so we go back to our campaigns. We've got a couple URLs that we want to get rid of because they're not producing for us. Free email series, let's go in there. So I just clicked on it there. Here are our URLs, or our keywords, as they call them here. First of all, constant contact, eating up our budget. And that's interesting because it's a popular website. Our bid was only 4th and we still had that much traffic that I've got to get rid of it. So I just select it there and hit deactivate. And there we go. Constant contact status at the top, inactive. All right, let's take a look at our other campaigns here. All right, so we see active campaign, we're ranked number 2. There we are, so there's someone higher than us. Let's increase our bid on there. Autoresponder Madness, that's us at number 1. We'll leave it. aweber.com, wow. We were getting some traffic. I'm not willing to pay that much because we're going to see it's probably not targeted enough. Benchmark email, we are number 1 there. Number 1 there. Campaign monitor, we're number 2. Why don't we go to number 1 for that guy? ClickFunnels, we're number 4. So we could, let's go into 3rd spot there. Copy Blogger number 1. Empower Network, 2 cents. That's us at number 1 for Empower Network. If you've watched previous videos, it's interesting because right now I know that media traffic and 50 on red and traffic Vance for marketers are probably the most popular and mostly used PPV networks. And so if you've watched the other videos, we've seen the pricing for some of these URLs and how they differ. This Empower Network, if I remember right, I think in 50 on red, the bid was around 26 cents an impression. I think for traffic Vance, it was 10 or 11 cents. I don't remember for media traffic. But here we are in LeadImpact, and it's 2 cents for an impression. It's interesting how much less it's costing, and that is strictly from fewer people using this network. And so there's a real opportunity, if you're watching this, that in LeadImpact there's not as much competition. So getting in with a network like this, you'll get impressions for cheaper than the others. So we're number 1 there at 2 cents. Pretty good. Get response, again, it's another autoresponder system like Aweber. Not terribly targeted. I'm going to leave us where we are. Inspire, we're number 1. Lead pages, again, that's not terribly targeted. We're 5th. I could put us a little bit higher. Try to get I think we were getting some impressions there already. Here we're 1st in all of these. Stream send, okay, we're 1st there too. Great, I just saw these others, so that's great. We're 1st for all the rest of these. Pardon me. So I see here 2 of them at 1.6. Let's take over Seoul first spot. Stream send in the other videos, we could see it did give us some conversions. So let's get more traffic if we can from there. And vertical response, I can see another bidder at the same price. So let's just put that one up by 1/10 of a cent as well. Okay. Save and continue. All right, let's look at our other campaigns. That was the email series, home selling secrets. All right. Now here Zillow was the one eating up our budget. I've already put it in active, so that's great. Yeah, I saw that first evening that Zillow got a lot of traffic. It wasn't producing, so I turned them off when I could remember to. All right, so as we go through these others here, we're second, HGTV. It's not a terribly targeted URL. I'm going to leave that one. First. House, again, not terribly targeted. We know that. Redfin, again. And so we're going to leave that. Some of these more targeted ones, we are in first place. So I think we're looking good here. I'm going to hit save and continue. And we'll look at our final campaign. Click campaigns up there. Go down to our traveling checklist. All right. Here, it was TripAdvisor. Aha, so I've turned it off already. I noticed in the last 2 days, it was getting too many impressions with no conversions, so I've shut it down already. Let's take a look at where we stand with these others. Budget travel. We're in third place there. Why don't we go into first and see what sort of traffic and any response that we get. Here we're in first. Okay, Travelocity.com. Boy, they get a lot of traffic. Gonna have to watch. I'm gonna leave that one because I know that Travelocity gets a lot of traffic and isn't the most targeted, so we're gonna leave that one as it is. All right, so we are done there. Okay, so we have checked up on all of our campaigns here in LeadImpact, made bidding changes, and gotten rid of any URLs that are getting too many impressions without any conversions. So we're going to let these run for between 5 and 7 days. I'll come back and check on them again at that point, look at reporting a bit further. I'll be checking on these within the next couple days to make sure that any of the URLs aren't running away with impressions again. But for now, we're good, and we'll see you on the next video.